Good morning, students. In last class, we were studied about the transpiration and guttation process. Now, there is difference between transpiration and guttation. First point, transpiration occurs through stomata, cuticle, and lenticels, but guttation process occurs through hydrothores in the leaves. Hydrothores are special pore found on margin of the leaves. Second difference, in transpiration, water is lost in the form of water vapor, but in guttation, water is lost or exudate in the form of liquid. Third, transpiration occurs only in daytime, but guttation process takes place in the early morning. For difference, in transpiration, the stomata of leaves usually remain open during daytime and get closed at night. So, transpiration occurs only in daytime, but guttation process, special pores or hydrothores which are found at the terminal ends of the veins of leaves, remain open whole day and night. It means hydrothores are always open. Fifth difference, transpiration water is pure and contain no salt. It means in this only water molecules present, but in guttation process, water is not pure because it contains inorganic and organic substance in the water. Next, transpiration maintains the temperature of the plant, but guttation has no relation with the temperature. Last difference, in transpiration, root pressure, which is a positive pressure developed in root of xylem, is not involved, but guttation takes place due to development of root pressure, because in the early morning rate of transpiration is low. Now we are going to start the next chapter, mineral nutrition in plants. It means in this chapter we are going to talk about the minerals which are present in plants and essential for their metabolism and growth. Minerals are also known as elements. Let's start introduction. The utilization of various absorbed ions by a plant for growth and development is called mineral nutrition of the plant. From soil water, mineral ions are absorbed by active and passive mechanism which are involved in growth and development of plant body. These minerals are known as ions or elements. All organisms need to derive some substances from their surrounding in order to grow, development and complete their normal life cycle. It means all organisms need to substances from outside for their growth and complete their normal life cycle. So these substances are known as nutrition. For example, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. These are non-mineral but involved in essential element, and major essential elements are nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, chloride, so on the basis of mode of nutrition, organisms are divided into two categories: heterotrophic organisms and autotrophic organisms. Firstly, we will talk about the heterotrophic organisms. Such organisms which depend on external sources for both organic as well as inorganic substances for their nutrition are called heterotrophic. In other way, the organisms which depends for their need both of organic and inorganic substances on outside source are called heterotrophic. Organic substances are protein, carbohydrate, lipids, enzymes, and inorganic substances are minerals or elements or ions. So, through diet, animals depend for their growth organic and inorganic substance. For example, fungi, bacteria and animals are heterotrophic because they cannot synthesize food itself. Second, autotrophic. Such organisms which themselves synthesize all required organic substance and derive only inorganic substances from outside sources are called autotrophic. In other words, the organisms which depends only on inorganic substances from outside source and manufacture all the required organic substances by itself are called autotrophic. For example, all plants and photosynthetic bacteria synthesize food, it means carbohydrate, organic components, but they cannot synthesize the inorganic substance. So, for gaining inorganic substance, root of plants absorb minerals from soil water. It means these are autotrophic for organic substance, but heterotrophic organisms depends both of organic and inorganic substance from outside source. Nutrition in green plants normally means mineral nutrition. It means plants ऑर्गेनिक सब्सटेंस तो प्रोड्यूस कर लेते हैं बट मिनरल न्यूट्रिशन सॉइल वाटर के थ्रू ऑब्टेन करते हैं. Dependence of plants on minerals was first proved by the Cheshire scientist in 1804 and later by von Zech scientist in 1860. Now we are going to talk about the methods for study of mineral nutrients in plants. In this, scientists have adopted different methods to learn about the mineral requirements of plants. So, some of these are as following. First, analysis of plant is. Second, sand culture experiment. And third, hydroponics or water culture experiment. So, there are three methods for study of minerals, nutrients in plants. Now, firstly we will talk about the analysis of plant is. S means dry matter of plant. This method is used to determine presence of relative amount of various elements in the plant. It means इस मेथड के थ्रू अपन एक प्लांट बॉडी के अंदर एसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स की अमाउंट कितनी है वो पता कर सकते हैं. इन दिस मेथड व्हेन फ्रेश प्लांट्स, it means experimental plants are dried at 70 to 80 degrees Celsius in oven for 1 or 2 days. इस मेथड में फ्रेश प्लांट लेते हैं या प्लांट के कुछ पार्ट भी ले सकते हैं, लीफ, स्टेम, रूट, और पूरा होल प्लांट लेते हैं, उसको ओवन में उसके पार्ट्स करके 70 to 80 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे ड्राई करते हैं और उसको 1 or 2 days के लिए रखा जाता है. बाय दिस ऑल द वाटर प्रेजेंट इन प्लांट इज ड्राइवन ऑफ इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर वेपर. जब प्लांट ओवन में ड्राइड हो रहा होता है, इसका जितना भी वाटर था वो वेपर फॉर्म में रिलीज हो जाता है एंड द रिमेनिंग पार्ट इज वेक्ड. वाटर वेपर रिलीज होने के बाद प्लांट का जो रिमेनिंग पार्ट होता है उसको वेग मीन्स तोला जाता है एंड ड्राई वेट ऑफ दिस पार्ट इज ऑब्टेन. उसके बाद अपन को प्लांट का ड्राई वेट मिल जाता है जिसको अपन राख बोलते हैं. The main constituents of the dry matter are the cell wall, it means lignin, polysaccharides, carbohydrate, proteins, fat, organic acid and some other elements. और इस ड्राई मैटर के अंदर क्या बचता है, इसका कंपोजिशन क्या होता है, प्लांट की सेल वॉल, कार्बोहाइड्रेट, प्रोटीन, फैट, ऑर्गेनिक एसिड एंड सम अदर एलिमेंट्स जिनको अपन इनऑर्गेनिक एलिमेंट्स कहते हैं, इसका कंपोजिशन होता है. टू डिटरमाइन द इनऑर्गेनिक सब्सटेंस प्रेजेंट इन ड्राई मैटर. अब इस प्लांट इसमें से ड्राई मैटर में से इसमें ऑर्गेनिक एंड इनऑर्गेनिक दोनों सब्सटेंसेज हैं और इसमें से अपन चाहते हैं कि ओनली इनऑर्गेनिक सब्सटेंस सेपरेट हो जाए. देन ड्राई मैटर इज ब्रन्ड इन फर्नेस भट्टी at 600 degrees Celsius. As a result, all organic compounds are oxidized and passed off in the form of gases CO2, ammonia and oxygen. जब ड्राई मैटर को भट्टी के अंदर 600 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे जलाया जाता है तो जितने भी ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स थे, कार्बोहाइड्रेट, प्रोटीन, फैट, वो सब ऑक्सीडाइज होके गैसेस फॉर्म में रिलीज आउट हो जाते हैं बिकॉज ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड का कंपोजिशन कार्बन, नाइट्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, हाइड्रोजन होते हैं. देन रिमेनिंग मटेरियल ऑफ ड्राई मैटर इज कॉल्ड प्लांट इज. एंड प्लांट इज कंटेन ओनली मिनरल एलिमेंट्स. So by this method we can separate the mineral elements from plant body and the relative amount of various minerals can be determined by analysis of this S. Now, second method is sand culture experiment. In this method, sterile soil is made by washing it with hydrochloric acid or HCl. It means सेंड को हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड से वॉश करने पे ये स्टेराइल बन जाती है एंड दिस स्टेराइल सैंड इज डिवॉइड ऑफ मिनरल्स और इसमें जितने भी मिनरल्स थे वो सारे के सारे एक्जेक्ट आउट हो जाते हैं और सॉइल प्योरली स्टेराइल है. This sand is properly washed with distilled water which is used in laboratory experiment and distilled water has 7 pH and then plants are grown in this soil. Now some experimental plants are grown in sand to which solution containing all minerals have been added. These are known as control plants. It means there are two types of soil. One soil is sterile and second type of soil is fertile soil which contain all minerals for plant growth. So some experimental plants are grown in solution containing all minerals containing soil, and these plants are known as control plants, and remaining plants are grown in solution deficient in one or more nutrient elements. These are referred deficient plants. It means जो स्टेराइल सॉइल थी उसमें बाहर से अपने सारे मिनरल्स ऐड कर दिए बिकॉज जरूरी नहीं कि सॉइल के अंदर सारे मिनरल्स एक जगह मिले, अलग अलग जगह पे अलग अलग नंबर होती है. 17 एसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स एक साथ जरूरी मिले. तो जो स्टेराइल सॉइल थी जिसको अपने HCl एंड डिस्टिल वाटर से वॉश किया था उसके अंदर कुछ प्लांट्स ग्रो करवाए गए और उस सॉइल के अंदर बाहर से मिनरल्स ऐड कर दिए गए और इस सॉइल के अंदर जो प्लांट ग्रो हो रहे हैं उनको नेम दे दिया कंट्रोल प्लांट्स. कुछ प्लांट्स इस टाइप की सॉइल के अंदर ग्रो करवाए गए जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी मिनरल्स की डेफिशिएंसी थी. हो सकता है मिनरल्स बहुत सारी अमाउंट में कम हो या एक मिनरल की भी डेफिशिएंसी हो सकती है. सो इस टाइप के प्लांट्स को नेम दिया गया डेफिशिएंट प्लांट्स. Deficiency symptoms are noted in plants grown in sand containing solution deficient in specific mineral elements by comparison between control plants and deficient plants. कंट्रोल प्लांट्स के अंदर सारे मिनरल्स की प्रेजेंस थी बिकॉज वो सारे के सारे मिनरल्स अपने बाहर से ऐड किए थे स्टेराइल सॉइल के अंदर और उन प्लांट्स की ग्रोथ प्रॉपर हो रही थी. जो प्लांट्स सॉल्यूशन डेफिशिएंट सैंड में ग्रो करवाए गए थे उनमें मिनरल्स की डेफिशिएंसी सिम्टम्स देखे गए और दोनों कैटेगरी के प्लांट्स को कंपेयर किया गया, डेफिशिएंट प्लांट्स और कंट्रोल प्लांट्स को. जो डेफिशिएंट प्लांट्स थे उनके अंदर प्रॉपर मिनरल्स की डेफिशिएंसी होने की वजह से डिजीज थी और जो कंट्रोल प्लांट्स थे उनमें सारे मिनरल्स के प्रेजेंस की वजह से वो प्रॉपर ग्रोथ करे. सो बाय दिस मेथड द इफेक्ट ऑफ डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ वन और मोर स्पेसिफिक मिनरल एलिमेंट्स ऑन इन प्लांट्स कैन बी डिटरमाइन. सो इस मेथड के थ्रू अपन ये चेक कर सकते हैं कि किस प्लांट के अंदर किस मिनरल की डेफिशिएंसी है और उस मिनरल की डेफिशिएंसी को उसी मिनरल से कम कर सकते हैं बिकॉज मिनरल्स स्पेसिफिक होते हैं. Hence, in place of soil, quartz, plastic chips, vermiculite elements or artificial soil is used nowadays. So present time, in place of soil, vermiculoponics technique is used. What is vermiculite? Vermiculite is a mineral substance which is found in soil in natural form. It means it is also mineral, and this mineral is heated in furnace at 2000 Fahrenheit, and the obtained product is used in culturing plants. It means वर्मिकुलाइट एक नेचुरल मिनरल सब्सटेंस है. इस सब्सटेंस को 2000 फ़ारेनहाइट टेम्परेचर पे भट्टी में हीट किया जाता है. उसके बाद जो रिमेनिंग प्रोडक्ट होता है उसको प्लांट कल्चर में यूज करते हैं. ये आर्टिफिशियल टेक्निक हो गई. Hence, vermiculite is used for growing plants, and this technique is called vermiculoponics. Now, we are going to talk about the properties of vermiculite. First, vermiculite is lightweight substance, chemically inert, it means chemically inactive and sterile substance. Second, water holding capacity is more than soil. Vermiculite contain more water holding capacity compared to soil. So it is best for water culture, in place of soil culture. Third property, vermiculite is loose texture substance and does not resist growth and development of roots. Texture of vermiculite, texture means बनावट, it's loose, so ये प्लांट ग्रोथ को रेसिस्ट नहीं करता और रूट की ग्रोथ भी प्रॉपर होती. फोर्थ प्रॉपर्टी, vermiculite does not undergo degradation and so it can be used to grow plants rapidly. Now we are going to talk about the third method, water culture experiment. It is also known as in 1860, Julius von Sachs scientist Knopp and Haugland. Julius von Sachs, a prominent German botanist, demonstrated for the first time that plants could be grown to maturity in a defined nutrient solution in complete absence of soil. So, this technique of growing plant in a nutrient solution is known as hydroponics. What is the aim of hydroponics technique? To determine the mineral nutrients essential for plants. What are the requirements of hydroponics? First, purified water. Second, mineral nutrient salts. Third, the nutrient solution must be adequately aerated to obtain the optimum growth. Can you explain why purified water and mineral nutrient salts are essential into hydroponics? Answer is because any contamination or impurity can cause infection in plant, which results in growth retardation. Method of water culture experiment or hydroponics. Firstly, essential elements were identified. Second point, deficiency symptoms of essential elements were discovered. Third, hydroponics has been successfully employed as a technique for the commercial production of vegetables such as tomato, seedless cucumber. So, in this method, seed is not used, and the root of experimental plants are kept in nutrient solution. This solution is deficient in oxygen, and oxygen supply by aerator. So, the methods of growing plants in nutrient solution in place of soil are referred as hydroponics. Hydroponics is a Greek word which means working with water. Let's see hydroponic plant production in this table. Diagram of a typical setup for nutrient solution culture. In this, funnel for adding water and nutrients. By this, water and nutrients are added in pot, and experimental plants is kept in nutrient solution, and a aerated tube for oxygen supply is also added in nutrient solution. So in this technique, plants are grown in a tube or through placed on a slight incline. A pump circulates a nutrient solution from a reservoir to the elevated end of the tube. The solution flows down the tube and returns to the reservoir due to gravity. Inside show a plant whose roots are continuously bathed in aerated nutrient solution. The arrows indicates the direction of the flow. In this, pump is attached to aerated tube and nutrient solution is filled up in this box. Resultant, hydroponics plants are produced by water culture method. It means without soil, only nutrient solution in water produce the plants. Now we are going to talk about the essential mineral elements. Green plants synthesize carbohydrate by photosynthesis using carbon dioxide gas absorbed from atmosphere and water absorbed from soil. So, plants require several inorganic mineral elements, and these are derived from soil or atmosphere. Out of 117 elements on earth, about 60 elements have been found in plants. But all these are not essential for plants. Only 17 elements are considered as essential elements. It means out of 117 elements on the earth, only 17 elements are essential for plant growth. These are known as minerals for plants. Various studies have revealed that for normal growth of plant, 17 elements are necessary, and many non-essential elements present beyond a certain limit may be toxic to plant. So now, criteria for determining essentiality of 17 essential elements in the plant. Essentiality of 17 elements is determined by following facts. First criteria: elements which are essential for normal growth and reproduction of plants and in the deficiency of which plants may not complete its life cycle. It means the element must be absolutely necessary for supporting normal growth and reproduction, and in the absence of the element, the plant do not complete their life cycle or shed the seeds. Second, the requirement of the element must be specific, and its deficiency can be fulfilled only by this element, not by any other element. एलिमेंट्स की रिक्वायरमेंट प्लांट के अंदर स्पेसिफिक होती है. यदि कोई स्पेसिफिक एलिमेंट की डेफिशिएंसी है तो उसकी डेफिशिएंसी को उसी एलिमेंट से ही फुलफिल किया जा सकता है, किसी कोई दूसरा एलिमेंट ऐड नहीं कर सकते. इट मीन्स यदि मैग्नीशियम की डेफिशिएंसी है और लीव्स येलोइश कलर की हो चुकी है तो प्लांट को मैग्नीशियम ही चाहिए, ना कि कैल्शियम, because elements are specific. Third, the element must be directly involved in the metabolism of plant. These 17 elements directly involved in photosynthesis, respiration, and other metabolic activities of plants. Fourth, a specific symptom develop in the plant due to deficiency of a specific element, and the symptom must disappear by supply of that element. यदि किसी प्लांट के अंदर कोई स्पेसिफिक सिम्टम अपीयर हो रहा है, लाइक क्लोरोसिस, जो नाइट्रोजन फॉस्फोरस की डेफिशिएंसी से अपीयर होता है, और ये स्पेसिफिक एलिमेंट प्लांट को प्रोवाइड कर दिए जाए तो ये डेफिशिएंसी, इस सिम्टम डिसअपीयर हो जाएंगे. इसकी जगह अपन अदर एलिमेंट की सप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. नोट: some plant species accumulate selenium, it means astragalus, selenium element accumulated by astragalus plant. Some plant like mustard accumulate gold, while some plants growing near nuclear test sites take up radioactive strontium element. It means mustard crop show the presence of gold in the soil. Astragalus plants crop show the selenium element in the soil. There are techniques that are able to detect the minerals even at a very low concentration. It means 10 is power minus 10 gram per milliliter. Okay. On the basis of the relative amount present in the plant, the essential elements are divided into two categories. First category, macronutrient. These are also known as main elements, and second, micronutrients. Now we are going to talk about the macronutrients. They are generally required in plants tissue in large amount. It means elements which are found in the plant in amount from 1 to 10 milligram per gram or 10 millimole kg inverse of dry matter are called macronutrients. टोटल ड्राई मैटर का 1 to 10 mg per gram अमाउंट मैक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स के प्रेजेंस को शो करता है. And these elements are 9 in number. For example, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, magnesium and calcium are macronutrients or main elements of plant body. Now, second category, micronutrients. These are also known as trace elements. They are needed in very small amounts. So, elements which are found in the plant in amount less than 1 mg per gram or 10 millimole kg inverse of dry matter. टोटल ड्राई मैटर का 1 mg per gram से भी लेस अमाउंट नीडेड पार्ट माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स का होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, these elements are 8 in number. For example, ferrous, boron, manganese, copper, zinc, molybdenum, chloride and nickel. Molybdenum is the least element. In some cases, ferrous and boron are considered as intermediate elements because both elements behave like macronutrients and micronutrients. Second are nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are considered as primary macronutrients because NPK are the main source of plant for metabolic activities and these are also called as critical elements. Why NPK are called as critical elements? Because नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस, पोटेशियम की प्लांट्स को डेली नीड होती है और इनका एब्जॉर्प्शन ज़्यादा होता है. इस वजह से सोइल में इनकी डेफिशिएंसी हो जाती है. यदि इनकी डेफिशिएंसी होगी तो प्लांट क्रिटिकल कंडीशन में आ जाएगा और मेटाबॉलिक एक्टिविटीज स्टॉप हो जाएगी. बिकॉज नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस दोनों ही न्यूक्लिक एसिड एंड अमीनो एसिड का कंपोजिशन होता है. Whereas calcium, magnesium and sulfur are considered as secondary macronutrients. Next are some other elements such as sodium, silicon, cobalt, selenium, etc. have also been found beneficial for higher plants. So, these are called beneficial or functional elements. Sodium, silicon, cobalt and selenium are not involved in essential elements, so these are also known as non-essential elements and these are useful in higher plants because in higher plants cobalt helpful in formation of root nodules in leguminous plant. Silicon helpful in controlling the C4 cycle in helophytes plants. It is the function of sodium. And silicon provide mechanical support in grasses and selenium helpful in synthesis of many amino acids. So these are non-essential and functional elements in higher plants and considered as non-essential elements. But These are needed for essential growth. On the basis of element function or role in plant nutrition, essential elements are classified into following categories. First category, structural elements. Second, energy related elements. Third, enzyme activator. And fourth, osmotic regulator elements. In structural elements, essential elements that are components of biomolecules, it means carbohydrate, proteins and lipids, called as structural elements. For example, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. CHON are structural components of biomolecules. Second, energy related elements. Essential elements that are components of energy related chemical compounds in plants are known as energy related elements. For example, magnesium in chlorophyll of plant and phosphorus in ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It means magnesium is the constituent of chlorophyll and phosphorus is the constituent in nucleic acid or energy source ATP.